Hello everybody and welcome to week 12 of INF210 collections. So this week we are finishing off our study of the collection management life cycle. So next week we're looking at disasters and preservation, which is always fun, and then the following week, which is our last week, we'll be looking at the future of collections and collecting, which is also a whole lot of fun. But back to this week, the very last week of our collection management life cycle. So this is where we started looking at working out who our users and stakeholders are and what their needs are, then choosing what items we'd like to include in our collections to meet those needs. Then we looked at how we actually go about acquiring those items, so how we go about buying them essentially or getting access to them, and how we involve vendors and publishers in that process. Then we had our lovely collection all put together and it was sitting on the shelves, or it was available for our users if it was a digital collection. And so then we were able to then look back at that collection against the users' needs and that we started with at the beginning and say, well, how well is this collection doing its job? How well is it meeting the needs of these users and stakeholders? So that whole idea of collection evaluation. And sometimes our vendors and publishers are helpful with that too, in letting us know, particularly with electronic book collections, what's being used a lot and what's not being used much, and having an influence on whether we rent a book or buy it, for example, or whether we provide access to one copy or 10, depending on demand. So vendors and publishers are really useful at that point. So we've evaluated our collection, and now we're moving on to the point where we're thinking, okay, we've got this beautiful collection, but from the evaluation we've seen that there's a whole bunch of stuff that's not being borrowed, or it no longer fits the needs of our users, or it's damaged, or for some reason we no longer want it on our shelves because it's no longer meeting the needs of our users and stakeholders in the best way possible. So that's when we start talking about weeding and deselection. Weeding and deselection, or deacquisitioning, some people call it as well, is pretty much the same thing, interchangeable terms, which just talks about getting stuff off the shelf and getting rid of it, and or not getting rid of it, or not. Anyway, we'll go into that in a sec. So that's the whole idea of what weeding is all about. So that's what this week is looking at. So we need to go to another module, so let's jump over there and have a look. Still in block 2, but now we're looking at module 9, weeding and deselection. So this is the content for this week, and this is what you need to look through. As usual, there's a whole bunch of stuff to read, and there's places that you can jump out to extend your learning and extend your reading if that's what you'd like to do. Now, weeding from a library perspective is different to that of an archive perspective. Archives are not great weeders because generally they've collected stuff because it's, all of Malcolm Fraser's papers, or it's all of the rate books from 1900 through till now for a particular council, or for some reason they've collected a whole bunch of stuff because it's really important and it's not likely to lose that importance. So archives don't tend to weed as much as libraries do. If you think of like a public library or a school library, they might be weeding a whole lot more, like because their collections get tatty, or they get out of date, or they get wrecked by the kids who are using them, or whatever. There's all sorts of reasons why a library would weed books or items that is different to an archive. So that's part of what we're looking at this week. We're also looking this week at some of the processes that we go through when we're weeding, and I think most libraries these days will be weeding as just a normal part of their collection management process, because if you've got a number of shelves and you've got to try and collect new stuff as it's being published, something's got to give, something's got to go, otherwise the shelves are going to get too full. And it's really important that our collections are fresh and up to date, and they look attractive, they don't look old and tired and tatty, because we want people to take care of them and we want people to appreciate them and to find them useful. So coming again back to the very start of this collection process, where we're looking at what our users and stakeholders need, and what they need is current, up-to-date, good stuff. So that's why we're weeding, is to get rid of things that don't fit into that category. Now, have a look through the content for the week, do the reading, and There's a couple of videos. There's one video there for you as well. So I hope you enjoy learning about weeding. It's a fun topic. I think librarians fall into two categories. There's the hoarders and there's the chuckers, and both of those categories of librarians need to be guided by policy, because otherwise the hoarders are going to keep everything just in case someone might need it one day, and the chuckers are going to get rid of stuff that shouldn't be got rid of because they're going to be thinking, oh, no one's touched it for it's a bit dusty, let's get rid of it. So both of those types of librarians need to be guided by policies that say, this is what we weed, this is how often we weed, this is how we choose what needs to be weeded, and therefore it's not a personal opinion about weeding usually. It's more of a guided decision-making process, which is really important because we have to be able to justify our decisions about why we've decided to get rid of stuff. And we talk about that a bit here in managing stakeholder discontent, because it's really, really common story about, the newspapers will be, academic found headfirst in a dumpster trying to retrieve books that the library has chucked out. It's, people don't always see the value of weeding, so it's one of our jobs is to convince, or at least inform and manage user expectations about our collections and why we need to weed. It's one of the really important things that we need to be able to do, and that's part of what you'll learn from this week is the reasons why we weed, and then you'll be able to pass that on to users if they're feeling anxious about the fact that we're pulling stuff off. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to stop that. And of course the truth of pulling things off the shelf is sometimes we do pull them off to get rid of them, and we've got various ways of getting rid of them, but sometimes we're also pulling them off, we're weeding them from our circulating collection, but we don't throw them out. Sometimes we put them into storage, and there are lots of places that we can do that, maybe with on-site or maybe in the basement, or sometimes we buy access or rent space in big warehousing areas for books, and those places we're able to take our books. So we've sort of effectively weeded them from the collection, but we haven't disposed of them. We've just put them somewhere else where we can get them back if we do find that someone needs them. So it's sort of like a halfway place where if we don't want to get rid of a book, but we don't want it on the shelf, then we can put it into storage. And I think I rabbited on long enough, really. I think so. Have a look at this page. I hope you enjoy learning about weeding and learning about the processes that we go through when we're doing that. So next week we will move on to disasters, of which there are many that we can talk about in libraries, just that you might have seen in the news fairly recently. So we'll be talking about that next week, and I'll see you then. Bye.